The celebration of Mardi Gras is more than the gold, purple, and green that you see lining the streets, and the rich, diverse cultural history transcends today's modernized celebration. Today, we invite Mel Woo to the show to share with us her family lore in connection to Hoodoo, Voodoo, and the energy vampires that walk among us. Mel teaches us about colorism and how it was meant to divide, but created such a rich subculture that thrives despite the racial repression that is as much a part of our American history as our flag itself. So sit back while Wietze makes Pączki for Fat Tuesday and Mel shares her tales. Welcome to Who Are You? Curious Stories of Family Lore.
I'm Wietze.
And I'm Sam Ivy.
And I'm Melanie, also known as Lady EJ.
And today we are talking about Mardi Gras and Voodoo and New Orleans craziness with our special guest here who has graced us with her presence. Melanie, Lady EJ, I call her Thelma because of some of the shenanigans in which we have gotten into in the past. Sam has never met Thelma in person, but I superimpose you guys in my memories together. Like, I will just be like, oh, Sam was there in New Orleans when we were getting
Like we were all there at one time.
Yep. Yeah, which we'll talk about the time that I found myself on Bourbon Street. You were there, right, Mel?
No. I think I was pregnant.
You were
at
not
that time.
there?
I was pregnant at that time. So.
Oh my gosh. Whoa.
But you did tell me
that explains why I got in the trouble I got into, because I probably wouldn't have had you been there. It was Atlantic City was our stomping grounds, really.
Yes.
But a little history. Mel is joining us today to share with us, like I said, her background on, because she lives in Texas. So it's all, so I won't give away your town or anything, but she lives in Texas. And we met in the military when we were young little hooligans in tech school. And we've been friends since. And we've gotten into lots of things together.
Great times. We're not going to call anything trouble. Great times. Great times and good trouble.
Great times and good trouble. Yes. So I guess, if you want to introduce yourself, or if there's anything you want the viewers to know, and then we can just jump right into it.
All right. So if anybody knows anything about me, I am a Texas girl, born and raised. And my family, I come from a very deep-rooted history on both sides of my mother and my father's side. My father's side, however, they are rooted in Alabama, which, if y'all know anything about geography, that's 2 states over from Louisiana, okay? I need y'all to track that, okay? However...
Yeah, and actually, wasn't the first Mardi Gras actually in Mobile, Alabama?
So...
Oh, shit.
Well, okay. You got Biloxi, Mississippi is where really the parades and stuff started. Mardi Gras itself was brought on by one of the French's, colonizers, travelers, those people who came over here and just started taking the land. Explorer. We're going to call them explorers.
Right.
So what happened with that is he found himself in an area right near New Orleans. This is why the Mardi Gras is everybody thinks New Orleans first, because he came through on a boat, found himself near New Orleans, and he deemed it Point du Mardi Gras. So, and his last name, and when I say this, your mind is going to be blown, is d'Iberville. Think about it. d'Iberville.
It was what?
D'Iberville. Do you remember the little town we used to go to right outside base before you got to Ocean Springs? D'Iberville, Mississippi.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was in that
Weird.
area
That's
before, you know, anything was any actual settlements or towns were truly established that he deemed that this would be the point of Mardi Gras. So if we go back into the history of Mardi Gras itself, a lot of people don't know this. Now, there's two different people you have on this earth. You have people who are heavy religious, and then you have people who are not. So the religion part of it was derived, they want to believe it was completely derived from Catholicism. I have a speech impediment, so y'all bear with me. So, with it being a Catholicism entity, it actually goes back. It was actually a pagan festival initially.
Oh,
and
wow.
a lot of people don't realize these modern day religions, a lot of them all derive from pagan heritage. And so
Hey, they all didn't start somewhere.
they all have to start somewhere. And so when the initial Mardi Gras it was to celebrate the three kings that were over the French and Roman Empire, I think. And that's where you get the king cake. So there's a lot of different traditions that go on with Mardi Gras. I don't know how much you know about the king cake or, you know, the king of Mardi Gras or the queen of
I
Mardi
know
Gras.
like a little bit here and there, but I've never been and I've always wanted to go. Not necessarily for Mardi Gras, but just like to Louisiana in general.
Oh, you've never been to Louisiana?
Nope, I have not.
Okay,
I've driven through like New Orleans, but that's about it.
okay, you're gonna have to go, and you could spend a day in Louisiana and just it can change your life. And there are so many towns that people don't think to go to. And if you're into a lot of spiritual energy and stuff like that, don't just go to New Orleans. You got to go to Crowley and Coushatta and Vinton. Like a lot of those places, you're going to find like ghost towns and okay. So what we also have to do is we have to allow people to we gotta give people understanding. Voodoo and hoodoo are not the same thing.
Okay.
Voodoo is an African religion that was brought, with that was brought with the slaves to the Americas, the Caribbeans, and stuff. Now, hoodoo itself, it is not a religion. It is it's root work. It's basically a conjuring of energy using the earth to manifest, sometimes manipulate, and create and heal. So
that sounds like placing intention, like going back to like the Dutch hexes. Like hoodoo reminds me, like there's some similarities in like you place an intention or a hex, good or bad, and that manifests into something.
Yes. So voodoo and hoodoo are not the same. They're not the same. And a lot of people, they are afraid to go to New Orleans or to Louisiana in general. Oh, because they practice voodoo. No, they don't practice voodoo. They practice hoodoo. It's a difference. Know the difference, because you can actually truly offend somebody saying that, oh, you're going to put some voodoo on me. No, but I'm about to put this hoodoo on you. So, so just know, like if you ever go, don't say voodoo, we hoodoo, okay?
Okay.
So with that, as it relates to me, my heritage and my family, I have my grandmother on my father's side, my paternal grandmother. She grew up in Alabama, which, you know, the whole state of Alabama and Mississippi, it all kind of runs together. And a lot of that culture that we experienced, you know, during the times of slavery and Jim Crow, we kept a lot of our traditions. And when I say we, I'm talking about the community as general, in a general sense. And so,
Yeah.
my experience of it is, I had the honor and privilege of being able to speak with my grandmother about a lot of things. And she told me about how someone placed hoodoo, used a hoodoo curse on her daughter.
Ooh.
And yeah. And ever since I was little, I had always believed in this spiritual realm that everybody said was witchcraft. I saw it for not witchcraft, but I saw it as it was, as the world should be. It's an energy bank that we transfer energy back and forth, good, bad, or indifferent. So when she told me
Like
about
transmutation of back and forth.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. Y'all can interrupt me at any time because I can talk. So please interrupt me when
Well,
you
that's
need
why
to.
you're here. You're here for us to listen so you can share your stories. So I'm like into it. So I'm like so hyper focused, and I'm like, you know, I might not say anything for a while because I'm just listening, but it's like, yeah.
So in the Black culture, there's something that there's a type of, I don't want to say racism because it's not racism, it's colorism. So the history behind colorism, when during the time of slavery, if you were of darker skinned complexion, you were working in the field for the most part. If you were of lighter skin complexion, you were what they would call a house Negro. You were in the house, you know, did the cooking, the cleaning, and stuff like that. And there was an infighting between slaves due to this. And it was systemically put in to keep the Blacks divided. And this colorism still lives to this day. There even and you can go to any community and it's stigmatized and it's there. Because I can remember when I was 16, 17 applying for jobs here in South Texas, there was a strong colorism. If you were of lighter complexion, you were more likely to get that job at the mall versus someone of my complexion. And it definitely stings. It hurts. But when I really got into it and learned and understood why it was there, I know how to defeat it now. You know, it's easier to just navigate the waters. But back to the hoodoo curse. So my aunt was
I just wanted, before you move on, I just wanted to what you were saying reminded me of this story that I just like recently read. I need to look up her name. She was such a badass. So she was a slave, an enslaved person who had a lighter complexion because she was the result of a slave master doing something to her mother, you know? So she had a lighter complexion and she understood what that meant for her. And so what she did is she seduced white man after white man after white man and killed them. And like, I think she also like helped people escape through the Underground Railroad.
That was in Louisiana.
Oh, so you know who I'm talking about.
Louisiana.
Yes.
Yep.
I need to look up her name. What was her name?
I forget her name. And it was and she had a beautiful name too. And like, I really forget her name, but I have definitely heard the story of that. And yeah, it sucks because you have people who buy into the colorism, and then you have people like that that woman who fought it, you know.
Yes.
So
I will find her name and I'll insert it later. Like when I go back and edit, I will find it. Or if I don't, I'll put it in the show notes. But yeah, I read that story and I was just like, what a badass. She understood what she, like, the time she was born in and like just kicked all their asses. It's very,
yeah.
But anyways,
No,
keep
it's
going.
very fucking empowering listening to that. Sorry.
So like my
You're good.
aunt is of lighter complexion, very beautiful, long hair, like, and my grandmother was also like you've seen my grandmother, and you've seen her son, my dad, my Willie,
Yeah,
yes,
he is.
Willie. And my grandmother
Okay.
is
Yeah.
probably a little bit darker than Kay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So imagine that. Yeah, like she's what they call high yellow in the Southern community.
Oh my,
Call it high yellow.
oh my, I've never
And
heard
so
that term. High yellow?
you haven't high yellow.
No,
Yes.
I've never heard that.
Like,
my
cause
God,
we
that's
like
crazy. I mean, I had
younger
no idea.
generation we call them yellow bones. Cause like we literally as a culture have like we've identified and labeled our own skin tones. Like I would be chocolate, you know. I'm smooth chocolate. Then you got one that's light, she's
Nice.
caramel. Then you got a yellow bone. Then you got a
Mhm.
red bone because they skin have a red hue undertone to it. And with all of that comes the, division at the same time, where we also did this to empower people, empower each other. It was a tool that was used to divide us as well. But
Yeah, you reclaimed
going
it.
on, yep. But going on, as my aunt, she was of lighter complexion, and there was this lady who she came and she placed chicken bones in a circle of salt in the shape of a chicken's foot. And then about 2 days later, my aunt ended up with this black mark on her very light skin. And
Ooh.
it started to like spread to her face, and the doctors couldn't explain it. That was the worst part. So my grandmother,
That's
being the woman
crazy.
she was, she went to one of her sisters who is a healer, a hoodoo healer, and she reversed it. So even as a child, before I heard this story, I knew all of these things existed, and I was impelled to learn more about it. And so after hearing that story, I was like, okay, so I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. And so it takes me back to my childhood when I was just saying things, and I was like making curses and hexes, and I thought I was doing something, but I was. And when I look at some of the things that have happened in like my brother's life and other people's lives that I had put these curses on, I was working and didn't know I was working. And so now that I have grown and learned really the art of it, I have had to go back and fix what I did, even though my intentions were intentional. I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
So that is a lot of that Louisiana heritage that's in me. And as it relates to Mardi Gras,
That's really
they
freaking
tell-
cool.
they tell you that, you have to be careful who you walk past, who you smile to, because they have that energy. They can pull your energy from your eyes, from your smile, from a speech. And then you ain't gonna know what got on you.
That really reminds me of like I find it really interesting how, like, the way that you're describing this, like, you go to a healer, like a hoodoo healer, and your aunt had this mark appear after this ritual was performed. That's like somebody performing a hex, or
Mhm.
you know, somebody sorry if you can hear my dog walking around all around me, but and eating food right now. But I think it's just crazy to see the cross-cultural connections of
Mhm.
one central element of spiritual manifestation, the transmutation of energy, and the
Yep.
power of intention. How it's all like, we act like we're all so different, but like we're all doing the same things, and they're influenced by our cultural surroundings and our experiences of a shared people, depending on who your people are. But it's just beautiful to learn about. And I just wanted to say that, to
And
just add on to
see,
what you're saying.
you know what? The crazy thing is, we're not different at all. We are all human. Different regions we may have come from is what sets us apart. You know, I can stay out in the sun a lot longer than some people, without it causing severe damage, because my origin is that of from the equator, closer to the equator.
Mm-hmm.
But don't put me over there in New Jersey where I once was and was freezing my bones off. Don't do that, because I can't stand it. Mardi Gras derived from a pagan celebration. Mardi Gras derived from a pagan celebration.
And honestly, like, that being the factor kind of makes me even more impressed that the whole power of manifesting is kind of like the base foundation for what every single subject that we've all talked about throughout, like, this podcast series. Like, it's all just about the power of will and your power of your, like, determination.
Yeah. Yeah.
And see, a lot of people like as we just talked about the transmutation of energy and the intentions and manifestation. Every culture has it. So I live in South Texas. I'm about 3 hours away from Mexico. The population of Mexicans here is about, I want to say, 58%, maybe more. And I have a lady I go to. And she practiced e- Ibiria, which is and
Yep.
I'm probably saying it wrong, but it's the equivalent to hoodoo. It's root work.
Yep.
And people would ask, well, why would you go to a lady who doesn't do hoodoo? I said, it's not about the name of it. It's about the actions and intentions that it's and the results it's going to yield. That lady can do the same thing that my hoodoo healer
Yeah.
can do in New Orleans. Well, actually, she in Lake Charles, but yeah.
No, I think it's really funny. My boyfriend, he's actually half Spanish, and he has family in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Oh
And
my God!
his late
Oh
grandmother,
my God!
yeah.
Ah!
So, but his late grandmother used to practice
my
all that stuff.
Okay, no, Sam, this is
Sorry.
crazy because I am taping from Corpus Christi today. I am in Corpus Christi today.
Hell yeah.
That is so funny.
I
That's so
might know your
funny.
boyfriend's
The world
family.
is crazy.
I might know your boyfriend's family.
Right, you might actually.
Also, I'm making Pączki because on Fat Tuesday in Mardi Gras, the Polish culture, you make Pączki. These have been proofing in my oven. I'm about to deep fry them while we talk, so my mic might be muted. I am paying attention, but I was like, since we're doing this episode, I'm going to get festive.
Okay,
So that's
so
what I'm
would you
doing.
say would you
That's
say
why you saw me
Pączki
pouring
is-
a gallon of oil over here.
Would you say Pączki is like similar to beignets?
Yes, actually, it's pretty similar. I looked up a beignet, same kind of concept. With the beignet, I think you make like a hot roux first for the dough, so it gives it more of a profiterole maybe texture. I could be wrong, but
It's a puffy. It's really
you
a
scorch
puffy.
the milk and you.
It's a puff
Go ahead.
pastry type. It's a puff pastry type of dish.
Yeah. These are more of a jelly donut, but there were some similarities because you serve them, you deep fry them, you serve them with powdered sugar. Sometimes you have different like glazes over the top, but I'm going to put jam in here. There's jelly. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
I just wanted to share so people weren't like, what the heck is she doing? That's what I'm doing, but I'm actively listening and participating. So. But anyways, you were saying, I forgot what I just interrupted. You're talking about the Hoodoo.
Okay, Hoodoo. Hoodoo and
Wietze for me. I was.
Wietze.
Yep. Yes,
so
there it is. You got it.
They're all one and the same because they are yielding the same results. Okay, so Kay, I love Kay because she will every now and then call me after she reads her tea leaves. And each culture has a element of the earth that allows them to receive messages, to see potential harm or potential abundance or whatever that it needs to be shown to that interpreter. And so in this I can't say it, Iberia, that is, they use an egg. So I go once a month, sometimes more than that, depending on what the energy reads. And she takes an egg and she rubs it across my head, across the top part of my body, and she recites her prayer. Well, her conjure message. And she does it 1, 2, 3 times. Then we pray. She cracks the egg in a glass and she begins to look into the egg and she reads it. And when I tell you this lady is spot on point, the first time I went to her, I was dealing with this older man, light skin, bald head with a pencil mustache. And I had never been to this lady before. Ever. Never seen the lady in my life. So she gives me cleansing and she says, are you dealing with a man? He looks like he's light skinned. He's not dark as you. He's light skinned. He's not Hispanic or white. He's light skinned black and he's bald and he has a thin mustache. Like she described him to a T. And she began to describe his personality and it was spot on. And she was like, yeah, you need to get away from him. And I did.
I know who this guy was. I remember.
No, I don't think you do. I don't think you know who this guy was. But this guy was.
I'm thinking of it starts with a P.
No.
That's
but she described him too. That was a couple of years later. No, that was a couple of cleansing later where she pulled out. She was like, yeah, this guy here, he wants you. He don't know how to handle you and he's crazy. Stay away. Like she, and all of it came to fruition. And so, and it's crazy because when I was dealing with P, we're going to just call him P, K gave me a tarot and it said that the justice card came up and it says you're going to go, it's going to be some legal situation.
Yeah, I remember this.
Not even a month later, I was in jail because of P.
God damn.
Yeah.
I
mean, all charges were dismissed. All charges were dismissed. So it's all good. But yeah. So anybody say that they can't believe it, it's not, it's mumbo jumbo. They don't want to believe it. And a lot of times they have gotten a reading that was not favorable to them, and they tried to do everything they can
Mhm.
to flip it, but it doesn't work. Because what's for you is for you.
Oh yeah, 100%. I can
I'm gonna let y'all
definitely
talk now. Like
understand
I
that.
Yep.
done said a lot. Y'all go ahead and start
Yep.
talking.
No, I'm interested. I think that you're giving us a perspective, at least me, that I haven't. When I think of Mardi Gras, I think of like beignets. I think of gold and
I think of
green
boobies and
and
like drinking.
right, boobies and drinking. But we don't stop enough to think about like the cultural connections and the richness of that aspect of it and the magic, and talking about some of the important differences within the microcultures that you're bringing up that really, like, I'm being quiet because I can't speak on that experience, but I want to give it space to breathe and room to share the space, and give you the
It
microphone,
also
Yeah, go ahead, Sam.
it also makes me want to like experience it more because, like I said before, like I've always wanted to go to like Louisiana and stuff, not necessarily for Mardi Gras itself, because I felt like it's been so commercialized over the years and so propaganda been to the point where it's like, oh, you come here to get drunk and party and blah blah blah, instead of it actually going into like the rich depth of the culture that it is, because
Mhm.
that attracts me more than showing my titties for some beads and all that shit. Like I would rather learn about like the actual history of it.
I I got some beads. I didn't go for Mardi Gras, but I got some beads, and I also got mugged. And I also I shouldn't actually share this information. My name was Megan that evening. That's all I'm gonna say. I celebrated somebody
Okay.
else's 21st birthday who may or may not have been a few calendar years my senior. I don't know, but my name's not Megan, so we'll let you connect the dots. And I just remember one night the city felt so like you got to think I was like, how old was I? 19 in New Orleans, maybe, because this was in tech school. You remember Megan? You remember Megan from tech school? Mel?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's why my name was Megan. Yeah. That's why my name was Megan that night. And they caught on. The bar people caught on. I'm just going to say that. So it turned into now I have to wait outside while everybody goes in. And so my evening had consisted of me collecting prizes in each of these bars. Like I got Shark Attack, so I had a toy shark. Loved that thing. It was so cool.
Yeah, me and Kay didn't make it to New Orleans together for Mardi Gras, but
Yeah.
the time that
Okay.
I spent at Mardi Gras.
Oh my God, wait, have you been to Mardi Gras?
I haven't been to Mardi Gras since 2012. No, 2012 was the last time I went to Mardi Gras. And I was
Oh my God,
mother.
tell us about it.
I was very well behaved at Mardi Gras that time, but I can tell you I was very much on high alert as it pertains to energy vampires and hoodoo workers. And I spotted this one man who he was very well dressed and it was kind of cold out. He was very well dressed for this parade, and he was not on a float, but he was kind of just walking by very casually, saying "Excuse me," and he would kind of brush across. And it wasn't women. It wasn't all just women he was brushing across. He was very selective of whose back he brushed across, and it was like he was stealing energy from them because you would
Okay.
notice them. They were yay, 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 and he said, "Excuse me," and then you would just kind of say, you just kind of saw them like fall a little pale, but really, solemn, look, and it's like, what is he doing? And then that reminded me the Princess and the Frog, the Martial, the
Yup.
the one who caught the frogs. And I was like, he's still in energy. And I think that was like one of my fondest memories
That's
of Mardi Gras.
terrifying.
And I call it fun because I
That's
was
crazy.
able to identify and
Yeah.
what that person was gonna do with that energy. I would love to know, good, bad, or different. Because like evil even intrigues me because I'm like how, like why and how,
Yeah.
like why did you choose
And like,
evil?
what made him so selective? Like, what made him so selective to the point where like it was only those certain individuals? Because if you just needed energy, you think he would have snagged it from anybody.
Yeah, but he was going from certain individuals, and the individuals that I saw, they were extremely excited, but they also seemed to kind of gave off the buzz of being well off. So I'm thinking he was stealing energy of
Okay.
abundance and wealth. It was he
Yeah.
was very, and if that's the case, teach me how to do that. No, I'm just playing, guys.
Honestly, that's crazy though.
And you have to be careful about whose energy you decide to take, because when you're thinking you're just trying to take you're going to get every energy that comes along with that. And this is why I tell my friends, be careful who you sleep with, because that is the ultimate transfer of energy, and you will have something hop on you that you can't get off.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because you're your most vulnerable at that point too. So if you're opening yourself up to that type of connection, you're opening yourself up to all connections.
And so with all of that, there are ways to reverse and get rid of this energy. And I think we could, if I was to come back on, when I come back on, we can talk about the importance of energy transference, protecting the energy, and how to get rid of the energy that we don't need. Well, we don't really
Oh, most definitely. Like,
have it out. It goes somewhere else and never to return. But
like you have me so intrigued. I'm like, I want a part 2, part 3 of all this. Like, I want to know more.
I definitely have to jump off of this. I got to take care of some things with the girls because one of my babies is under the weather right now. So make sure.
Oh, it's all good. Mom life first. We get it.
Yeah. And this has been so awesome having you come and share your experiences.
Having our first 3-way.
Yes, our first 3-way on the pod. So we really appreciate you being here. And
yes, thank you.
Thank you for being here. And do you have any quick final thoughts for our listeners before you go?
Okay, I'm going to do a shameless plug here. Be looking for my podcast coming in mid-March called Melanated Mental.
Yes.
So it's going to be pretty much it's an all-inclusive podcast. I'm going to be talking about mental health as it relates to Black women, all women. We're going to talk about healing, coping mechanisms, and we're also going to get into the mind of this beautiful Black woman you see in front of you, because I've been told that my mind is so complex that if they probably would be lost in a maze. So we're going to kind of get into my mind and how people perceive it and how we work with it. And I thank y'all for having me.
Of course. Thank you for being here. And when you do launch that, we will plug it. We will link it on our show. And we'll have to come back on and we'll have to do a
collaborate, all that. Yep.
She might have to come down, go to Corpus Christi. She might have to go to Corpus Christi one time.
Oh, yeah, no.
All of us.
Yeah.
I mean,
she's going to a wedding. She's going to a wedding.
Yeah, but I'm supposed to go to a wedding this year. Yeah, my boyfriend's brother's getting married, and all his whole dad's side of the family lives down there.
Nice.
That's crazy. That's so cool. So, oh shit! I just dropped a donut.
Not the
Sorry.
donut.
Yeah.
All right.
But
Thanks
we
for
love
having-
you, Mel.
Guys.
But it was really great, like, getting to meet you.
You too.
How should we close out this episode, man?
Like, I feel like it's a to be continued. Like, we need that second part with her on there talking about how to fix it, cleanse it, all that shit. Like, I feel like it was a good little, you know, like, tidbit. Like, it makes me think, like, do you know, like, the power of hoodoo and voodoo? Like,
all right, I'm
Hell
gonna
yeah.
pause frying those donuts for a second. Oh, I'm God. Oh, I'm God. I left Rotor outside. Well, that was Mel, our wonderful guest, and you guys will have to tune back in for part 2 when we dive more into that. But yeah, we hope you liked it.
we had a different view on Mardi Gras and showed you that all cultures are not necessarily all about partying. They all have some more in-depth, more deeper roots connected.
Yeah. All stems from ancient pagan traditions that were then kind of shifted and changed by the Roman Catholic Church. And then people started exploring the world. And this one French guy was like, this place rocks. And through colonization, slavery, and a variety of other things, you know, the United States formed into a rich and diverse culture that should be celebrated. And today we really focused on New Orleans and Hoodoo. That was a cool take. Like, that was a cool to learn about Hoodoo in that
Yeah,
way.
I didn't know there was a difference. Yeah.
Yeah. Me either.
I thought it was all
So,
voodoo. I didn't know there was another fucking thing.
yeah.
I learned a
So
lot
that
today.
was-
And honestly, I can say for like my final thought for like the viewers is just be careful what you manifest. Know that whatever you're putting your intentions to, good, bad, or indifferent, is going to have a strong power attached to it. Regardless of your belief, regardless of your religion, everybody is capable of manifesting anything.
Yeah. Whatever your intentions are. And that goes back to like telling people, you can do it. You can do it. If you just put your mind to it, you can do it. That is also just rooted in intention. And when you're angry, like, can you imagine when you're so mad and you just want to punch something? You're sending echoes of shockwaves of energy, and you're literally energetically punching somebody in another location around the world.
Yep.
Like, it's flabbergasting.
Oh, dude, I think about it all the time. Like when intrusive thoughts hit and you just verbally express them because you don't know where else to put it out there, I always sit back and I'm like, shit. Like, I did not mean to throw that even as a possibility out in the universe. Like,
Yeah.
but it does.
Yep.
Your intentions and what you say, just like how actions speak louder than words, your words can have just as much power as actions.
Yep. 100%. And I know that today I was kind of walking around doing a lot of different things while we were doing this, but this was so, for me, this was really a great episode. It was a chance for you and Mel to meet each other, even virtually. And it shows that even in our busy lives, we make time for each other. And I think that is such a beautiful thing. So thank you for just being my best friend and showing up and helping me with this, because it means a lot to me. And it's something that wouldn't be the same without you.
Same. And likewise. And thank you for opening up more of your world and your life to me. Like I've, in the 10 years we've been friends, I've always heard about Thelma, but never actually got to see pictures, but never actually got to meet her. So it's very much an honor and a privilege to be able to be a part of that part of your life too.
That is crazy to me that you've never met Thelma. I'm not lying to you. Like, I superimpose people I love into random memories. Like, I was thinking we were going to talk about me and Thelma in Louisiana, but that wasn't her. That was Megan. And I just think it's really cool. I just carry the people I love with me. And you guys, the fact that you guys have never met is crazy because I love you both so much. So this is great that we did this. So thanks, guys, for being here, listeners.
Thanks, fam. Hope you were as interested as we are.
Yeah. And never stop asking yourselves, who are you?
Who are you?
Oops. Who are you?
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Bye.